Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Python Pune meetup of October month 2020 edition. Uh, Thank you for joining in. Do post in the comment section your name, introduce yourself so that others know what you do and all. Keep in mind this is a public chat, and all few housekeeping things. All the talks are going to be recorded, and if you have any queries, doubts, comments, please post them in the YouTube live chat. Also, this event as well as the chat is under Python Pune Code of Conduct, so make sure you follow that. So we'll wait for few minutes. We'll let people join in, and then we'll start with the newsletter highlights. For those who just joined in, please introduce yourself in the chat, like what you do and what is your name, and we will be starting in a minute. Cool. Uh, Let's start with the newsletter highlights. So, for those who are new to Python Pune and how things are and how things work in this meetup group, So every month we collect some interesting links, some interesting news from all the T group members, and they share those with on one GitHub issue, and we make sure we kind of aggregate everything, and then we aggregate all the links, events in one page, and we create a newsletter. On in the every meetup, what we do, we pick up a tool which is new from that newsletter, and we try to just basically try out that thing and how it works and all. So this time we have a tool called git-cu. So we'll be trying it live. Even I haven't tried it, so I've just installed it before starting the meetup. So let me just bring in the browser window so that we know what is git-cu and all. Okay. So the README says, let me just increase the font size. Cool. So what README says is it helps you cloning the directories and structure based on their URLs. So what I believe is, so let's say we have like gitlab.com/abc/xyz, and we clone it. Normally, if we clone it, we just get the last part of the what I can say, the URL, right? So if I clone gitlab.com/abc/xyz, I will get a directory called XYZ. But what if I have like a lot of Git directories or Git hosted solutions where I'm cloning things from, and I just want to make sure that I have like a kind of good directory structure. So this happens with me. What I do is if I find some issues, I just go ahead and clone that repo and try to send the pull request. So yeah, this seems to be useful. So let's see. So CU is a clone URL. Interesting. Cool. So we'll use ppnv to install git-cu, and we'll try out according to the examples. So here I am in my terminal. So let's do ppnv install git-cu. So if you don't know what ppnv is, it will basically create a virtual environment for us, and then we can use it like any normal virtual env. So basically, we once we do, we just need to do ppnv shell. So we will be inside the shell.
Bhavan, sorry to interrupt. Could you please rejoin? I guess there's an internet issue at your end.
Okay, what is happening?
Bitrate is very low, so it's very blurry on stream.
Okay, probably Jitsi issue, I think. Yeah, from my end, it's good. Okay. Let's wait a few seconds and we'll continue them.
Sure. Maybe also we can share the links on the stream as well so that people, if they are not able to see, they can.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me try to rejoin as well, but I don't know if that will help.
Sure. Yeah, now it looks better.
Weird. Okay, then I will continue if it's better. Let me also check. I don't see it actually. Yeah, yeah, right. Cool. Let me continue then. Okay, so basically, if you're not able to see it properly, so what I have done so far is I've basically installed it with ppnv install git-cu, and then I just source the shell, which is like which has our virtual environment. So you can see it. It created a virtual environment for this directory particularly. Okay, then let's mm, clear this text. Cool. So let's see what is the basic uses of this. So quick start says just install it and do. Okay, you can close the repository with git cu. Interesting. Okay, nice. So let me try that. Git cu. Let's try this example only. So if I paste it, git cu and the URL. Okay, where is it? So do we have a GitLab folder? Yeah, we do. We do. Interesting. Very nice. So if I go to tree and then let's follow this example only. Tree hyphen d hyphen l and then gitlab.com. Yeah, as we can see, it has cloned it to GitLab, then 3.2 and git-cu, and then all directories. So let's just try with some different Git repo, I will say, not just GitLab or GitHub. Let's see what it does. So what I can think of right now is git dot. So there is this emacs conf git directory, and this is like this is cgit. So let's see what happens. Yeah, let's copy this URL actually. Now let me do git cu and then URL. Okay. Yeah, I got it. What is happening? Okay, let's see if it works with SSH URLs, and we'll see what happens. Interesting. So yeah, this doesn't seem to work with SSH URLs. Nice. So we can report a bug there, I guess. Mm, interesting. Yeah, this is how it is. Do try out and let the author know if you face any issues. Let me check the issues as well. Okay. No, no. Interesting. Let me file that bug later. Cool. To home. Yeah. So next up, we'll be posting the URL to this newsletter by the end of around the end of the meetup. We will also have what I should say, a hangout room at the end, so you can join in and interact with everyone, interact with the speakers and other attendees as well. So please stick around. We'll be posting that link. So today we have like two talks, and those are like almost lightning or short talks. So we'll have some time to discuss and meet each other, obviously virtually. So we'll be posting that link soon. And so next up we have a talk by Amol. He will be talking about what's new in Python 3.9. He will be walking us through what has been changed and few of the new tricks, few of the new functions and all. So about Amol, he has been with Python Pune since last 4 years now, and he's a Python developer who likes to teach people Python. He we like in 1 year we have like most of the time one what I should say one Python 101 track each year. So Amol contributes to that a lot. So yeah, Amol, over to you. You can try sharing your screen, and then we can get started.
Hello everyone. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is. Let's one wait for a second. I will check on the live stream, and then we can get started.
Yes, it's visible on live stream as well.
Cool. Yeah, then we can start. Amol.
Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Amol Kahat. So I am a Python player. I'm organizing a Python player since last 4 years, as I haven't mentioned. So and I'm a full-time Python developer. So I like the stuff with play around with the Python and doing stuff with doing some small automation or your daily automation with Python, etc. So I can reduce my work. So and might make the use of the Python much better. So we are going to start with the what's new in Python 3.9. So there are lots of new things which they are introduced into Python, and we are going to see them one by one. Okay, so first of all, how to install Python 3.9. So we are going with this. So so there are two ways using that you can install the Python. So first one is that using source, you can just clone the CPython Git repository. Otherwise, if you already clone it, just make sure you update it. You fetch all of the branches and etc. And make sure that you are checking out with the Python 3.9 branch and just build it using make and make install. And yes, you are starting with the Python 3.9. So I installed Python 3.9 yesterday night. So this is my latest Python 3.9 distribution. So let's check out with it. And you can see that I have Python 3.9 development version here. So it's saying that okay, you are checked out with the Python 3.9 branch and the sharp. Okay, so another way using that you can use download the tarball from the python.org and you can install using the tarball. Okay, so let's go with the new additions into the Python 3.9. So let's go with the small part with the strings. Okay, so they added few new methods like remove prefix and remove suffix. So let's see how these things work. So means it's like not like a rocket science. So suppose this is our string. If you are like using it, like if you want to remove the prefix underscore underscore like which we call as a vendor. So if you want to remove that, remove prefix underscore underscore. So like it will give you the output of the uh, main. And if you want to remove,
Amol, maybe you want to increase the font size a bit.
sorry,
Yeah.
put
Yeah. One more maybe if it will fit in. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
sorry, I messed up here. Okay, so you can see that there is it also remove suffix and but still there one question remain. If in the Python there are two methods already present, like so where it is okay, L strip and R strip. Still, why they introduced these two new methods? That still the question remains. So basically, it's because of what happened. So when you are using the L strip or R strip, that time Python interpreter treat this each and treat string as each and every character, not as a string. When you are using the remove suffix or remove prefix, that time it will treat all the string as a string, and it will remove the substring from the string. That's why they introduced these two new methods. So that's for the string. So let's go with the. Okay, so these are some of the examples which I try to explain. Okay, so it's much more clear. So let's go with another chapter like dictionaries. So actually into the dictionary they introduced new operator, union operator, which is like pipe and equal to. So we know that we have some shorthand operators in Python. Okay. And suppose a equal to 10, b equal to 20. So we are using a plus equal to a, and we are seeing all the result into the a. So this type of shorthand operands they are used into the Python. So let's go with some of the dictionary examples. Suppose there is one dictionary. I will take one of my favorite examples. Okay. So you can see that there are two dictionaries, like one is the T and one is the E. Into the T there are three attributes, three key value pairs, and into the E there are two key value pairs. So we can see that in the first one there is a value of 3 is integer 3, and into the E there is value of the 3 is 03 as a string. So what we are going to check. So let's check out first what this union operator does. Okay, so if we check t dot e, then we can see that it's combining the means it's the union of the two dictionaries. Okay, first of all we can observe that this three value got replaced with this string. So in short we can conclude that the right hand operator got overridden means override by the left hand left hand operator got override by the right hand operator. Okay, so let's take a bit and go with some example more. So we can check that. So now this 3 value is the digit 3. So we can see that this value 3 got overridden by the um, digit 3. Okay, so means again the left hand operator uh, sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm confusing with the left hand, right hand. So right hand operator got overridden by the left hand right values, but still the result is the same. Like we are getting one union of the dictionary. Okay, so let's see. So what this operator is going to do? Okay, so we can see that now this dictionary means that D now has a 4 value. So that's the operator which they are introduced here. So again, it's following the same behavior. So again, it's going to add 03 inside the dictionary T. Okay, so this is clear. So if you have any questions, please put it into the chat. So we can go for the next. And one more thing, like suppose uh, uh, Can I open a new terminal? Python. Ah, oh, sorry. Okay, so consider this is my dictionary. So into the Python 3.8, suppose if you want to add one more operator, suppose like two. So basically, you cannot add the dictionary and list into the Python, but in the Python 3.9, they actually overcome with this behavior. So using this operator, so actually you can write file. Okay, so you can see that the now 5 got added inside the dictionary. So this is the new some of the new features which they have added inside this. Because sometimes what happens, we are getting the some values inside the form of the items. So these values, if we need to add inside the dictionary, then again we need to add some like star star D1, D2, and etc. So again we need to do some process. So that's why they come up with this idea, and they are doing all of these things. Okay, so let's go with the yeah. So that's what I explained to you. Okay, so this is the page 0584. So you can go check out this page. So it will be more descriptive than I'm explaining here. So let's check out some of the grammar. So some of the so when we are using the decorators, that time there was some grammar restrictions. So you cannot use that. You can with the decorators you can only do this, do that, blah 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 stuff. So they come up, they inside this they remove some of the restrictions from the grammar. So let's check what exactly these restrictions. Okay. So I wrote some code into the file. Okay, so this is our simple decorator function, and we are decorating this hello world with this function. So it will print, first of all it will print function wrapper and then hello world. That's what it will does. Okay, so but now they have come up with this new idea. So suppose you have two decorator function, and some is like here is hello world, and there is one more function where you want to add some decorators, but you want to combine all of the decorators inside one dictionary. Okay, so how you are going to do that? So simply these are two of my decorators, hello 1 and hello 2. And what I'm doing, I'm adding h1 and h2 inside one small dictionary. So basically, inside the dictionary, I'm passing a decorator and h1. So basically, it's pointing to this h1. Okay, and it will print the hello world. And again, inside this h2, it will again pointing this hello world. So this, if you tried all of these things in Python 3.8 version, then it will not work. So it will throw an error. This is not a syntax error and etc. stuff, but in Python 3.9, this thing actually works. So let's go and try. Oh, let me move this. Okay, Deco 1.5. So you can see that it will print the hello world and etc. So what's happening? So first of all, it's executing the decorator, then it's printing the hello world. Then inside the print hello world is printing the hello world from there, and again it's executing. So you can go with this example. After the talk, I will put all of the slides into the issue. You can refer it there. Okay, so there is some question into uh, chat. Yes, actually, yeah, plus and equal to. This is shorthand operator which works in 3.8. Yeah, it's a shorthand operator. It's not only 3.7. It's there since like 2.7 and etc. stuff, or maybe before that. I'm not sure about it. And yeah, it's okay. Pipe works like an outer joint. Um, Seriously, I'm not familiar with the most much more in the database tables and etc. But if it's work like a outer join, then yeah, I'm sure I'm sorry, I'm not much more familiar with the database. So if it's outer join or anything, yes. So let's go with it. So hope so this is clear. So if you have any question, then we can discuss it into the next our meeting room. So okay, so let's go with the annotated type hint. So what is the annotated? So it's arbitrary data type for the Python function. Arbitrary metadata, sorry, for Python function. And if you can see the example, so this is our simple function like area, length and breadth. So we are calculating the area, simple length and breadth. So if we are doing some area like length and breadth, length is like consider it's in the meter and breadth is like into the meters, then we are again uh, returning the area. Sorry, I messed up here. Okay, so I put the weight function here. And, sorry about that. So and we are returning the area meters per square. So after that, so what we are going to do with the annotated? So this annotated is basically introduced in Python 3.7, I guess. And after that, this is how we are using. So we are using annotate like we are saying that integer value is in the meter. The second value is breadth, which is the integer value and is also in meter, and the area, which is the result. It will be the also integer, and it will be its unit is meter per square. So again, we are using length as a, like we are completely putting to the annotated 8 meter here and breadth, and we are returning the area. So this is how this annotate function runs. So basically, what exactly it used for? So it will tell developer or it will tell the static analysis. Okay, this is the things which you need to pass it here, because basically we know that the Python is a dynamic language and tracking all of the things inside the Python is quite hard. So maybe we can use that annotate into the Python static code analysis and etc. So that's why these things are here. So basically, it's nothing but it will tell you how to um, which values are you are going to pass it here, what is the type and etc. 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 stuff. So next one is the library. So they have some made some um, improvements into the Python library. So one of them is the time zone. So basically, it's about the IANI time zone databases. So basically, it is the one of the most updated databases into the world, and we are using that database to keeping our Python libraries updated. So it's simple like time zone, like you can use the time zone UTC. So let's go and check it out. Uh, from date time to date time and sorry, what is time zone. Date time now. If I say t z equal to so basically in that time zone UTC. So it will tell you what exactly the current time zone of the UTC. So if you want some our Indian time zone or somewhere else time zone, so what we can do, we can import from zone info import. zone info. Okay, so date time dot now is equal to zone info Asia. So Asia Kolkata is our Indian Standard Timing. So whatever what we known as the IST. So we can check that this is the 11:37:53. Okay, so this is the current timing. Uh, it's morning 11 a.m. 37 minutes and 53 seconds. Okay, and so that's what they have improved in this time zone. And there are lots of more things so which are there inside. You can go to this link and check out what etc. things they have added. Like currently they have added the Python parser, new parser, and they are removing that parser into the Python 3.10 version. After that, there are some CPython adapt means CPython adapted new release cycle. What it's not, but they have started this from the this version. So this is about some of the process, release process, and etc. We can call that. And again, they have some changes into some process management and etc. stuff. So uh, there was some like I mentioned the big parser. So that parser you can check out that using the you can compile your code with the old parser and new parser. That kind of functionality they also provided into the Python 3.9, and they are going to remove the old parser into the 3.10, and lots of other things they have released into the Python 3.9. So so that's it from my side. If you have any question, okay. So there are no questions into the chat. If you have questions, please put into the chat so I can answer.
Yeah, Mo,
So that's it from my side.
yeah, yeah. Let's wait for a few seconds as there might be delay. Uh, if someone has questions, then we can take. Yeah, so Milind is asking if any web frameworks has moved to Python 3.9. Any if web framework has updated their code to make sure it works with 3.9. Are you
I'm
aware?
certainly not sure about it because I'm not a web developer guy. So
Yeah,
maybe I can check that. Otherwise, we can go to the Django.com and say check what exactly they have updated in the
yeah,
Python
yeah, yeah.
3.9.
You can certainly post that on the your proposal basically if you find anything about that.
Yeah, that's another good idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. I guess we don't have any questions. So yeah, nice. It was nice summary. You ran through all the new changes, few of the previous changes as well. So if someone is not aware, they now are aware of those all changes. Cool. Okay. Yeah, Pradwan says fast API probably has moved to 3.9. So yeah, maybe we can check that out and then we'll discuss on the issue itself.
Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you for
Thank you, Amol. Cool. So next up, we have talk from Akshay. So this is another point from the newsletter. So you can later Akshay will talk about it as well. So he will be talking about the super function from Python. So yeah, maybe over to you, Akshay. You can share your screen. We can check if it works properly, and then you can start.
Okay, thanks, Bhavin. Am I audible to you?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I'm trying to share my screen now.
Sure.
Just a second. Hope my screen is visible to everyone. You can see the.
Screen. Yeah, let's wait a moment.
Okay. Yeah, before it began, as Bhavin said, it is a topic from the newsletter. So yeah, there are a lot of links, useful links, I would say, that put in the newsletter by all the volunteers and the attendees of the Python Pune. So it's a very good chance to check out the links.
Yeah, Akshay, you are visible, so you can get started.
Great, great. Thank you. Thanks for confirming, Bhavin. So, hello everyone. My name is Akshay Gaikwad. So, I'll be delivering a talk on Python super function. So, it's a built-in function. So it has a lot of utility, a lot of functionality of the super function. But in this lightning talk, I will try to cover only the introduction and the mechanism part, and I'll suggest few advice on the usage of super function. A bit about myself. I am a Python developer. I also work as a volunteer in Python Pune meetup group. In my free time, I write a post at akshayg.in, and I am on Twitter with handle akshayg196 with A and G capital. So let's begin. The today's agenda of this talk. So I will try to explain terminology because I have seen that in super when I read articles, when I discuss with the people, I see there are some terminologies which are used in super, which are the basic terminologies used in Python, and so it would be good if we know the terminology clear before we know the super and we start this talk. And then we will have a super. We will discuss what is super, its definition, and the is technical term super and the function what it does. We'll talk about history, what we do, how we write a code before super was introduced. I'll talk about the benefit. What is MRO? This is something new. You probably don't know about it, but it's a underneath mechanism of the super function. And I just have a few advice taken from the internet and from the people who use super in the projects. So it's advice on usage of super function. So similar to me, many time we just use super any built-in function, but we don't know its functionality and its mechanism. That's why we don't know how we can use it fully or completely. So it really useful to know how these functions work underneath. So let's begin with the terminologies. So the these are the few terminologies I want to share with you. Is like the object, class, and the second is class. So I just cover up in a couple of minutes here only. So object is the grouping of data and method together. So let's say like a person is object with the attribute name and the address and a few methods. So it's such a group of data and methods altogether. So class defines how we make an object. So let's say let's take an example of square. If I write a class with the name square, and if I write yes is equal to square opening and close bracket, so this is the instantiation the class and it returns the object. So hope object and class is clear. Two more terminologies is superclass and subclass. So superclass is like parent and subclass is like a child of that class. So if you are belong from the object oriented paradigm, you probably know the inheritance and the super. So uh, Actually, it's a inheritance. Inheritance means it has a base class, and we write another class which has the functionality of the base class. So its main usage is to enhance the functionality of the class, and just to avoid the rewriting code and the save bit of lines. Hope this is clear. And I actually talk about the inheritance as well. So single inheritance and multiple inheritance is important if you want to understand the super function. So multiple inheritance means for the subclass we have multiple super classes. So it's like multiple parents to a class. I hope this is clear. I just have one example here, which I just mentioned. As in the first line, I just write a class square, and I just don't do anything in this class. So I just write a pass. So it's the definition of class only and does nothing. And in the second line, I just instantiate the class. It return the object yes. And if you know about the magic functions, the attributes that are there in the object, you probably run like yes dot dunder class dunder. You will return the class name of that object. And here is the class name is square. It's a class object basically. And if you do dot on the same class, if you do dot dunder base and dunder, it will return return its base class. So all the classes in Python are inherited from the object. So it will return the object class. Hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, next. So what is super? So I just add a screenshot of Python official documentation, and it says that it will return super return proxy object that delegate method calls to a parent or a sibling class of type, right? So it's a technical definition in layman terms. Simply we can say that super gives you the access to the methods in the super class from the subclass that inherit from it. So one more interesting thing term here is the proxy object. So here super does not return the actual super class. It's object. It's a proxy object to super class. So it's a temporary object basically of the super class. So use case of super class, use case of super is we build when we build the classes, we may extend the functionality of the already previous build classes. So let's say in this, let's take an example here. Okay, so I just written a class rectangle which has the init, which is the constructor, which takes the input as the length and width. As we all know, the rectangle needs length and width. It has the rectangle class has the methods called area and perimeter. So area is the calculation of area with the help of length and width, and perimeter, as we all know. So I just write another class which is square. So in case of square, let's look at the second part here only. In the square, it's in the init function. Init function we take the length, because all we know the square has only length, because all the sides of square are equal. So it's calculate the area and the perimeter. So the interesting fact here is square is a special kind of rectangle. With special I mean it has only one length, where it has length and width are the same. So we can only pass the single parameter, which is length. So here in this case, we can rewrite the square class, which is as mentioned in the third part, such as it just inherit from the rectangle. So I just I said super is a special kind of rectangle. So in the third part, I just input the length and I call a super. Okay, so here actually it calls the rectangle, which is the base class of the super square, and I call the init of the rectangle and pass the length 2 times, which is the length and width for the rectangle. I hope this is clear. So super take 2 arguments, but I don't like, actually didn't add an example for the argument super with the arguments. So it takes the argument with the you can pass the subclass type and the object to the super function. Next one is what we before the super was introduced, we actually need to write the code as mentioned, as displayed on the screen. We need to call the rectangle with the init function. So so here super gives a functionality which is indirect references. That means we don't need to keep track of all the base class and its base class and its base class. We just need to call the super and we are okay with all the thing. So there are a bit of benefit of indirect references that is used by super. So we can isolate the change. So let's say if I edit the source code to switch the base class name to the some another mapping. So in that case, the super references will automatically follow. So we don't need to change everything. We just need to change. Actually, we don't need to change anything if we change the base class name. So we actually isolate the change. Another benefit of the indirect references is we can actually if you are coming from the static programming background, you probably this is something which you don't know, because indirect references is computed at runtime, so that we have the freedom to influence the computation, so that the indirection will point to the other class in any time. And there are a lot of other benefits of using super. Okay, so another thing is method resolution order, which is also known as MRO. So how the super works. So Python keep the track of all 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 the base classes and its base classes until we reach to the object, which is the root class of all the classes. So here, let's say a square that we define, we call square dot dunder mro dunder. We actually see one tuple. So here, the square is actually a class. Its parent is rectangle. Its parent is object class. So here, let's say if you call super dot method in the square class, so it actually look for the that method in the rectangle, and if it not there in the rectangle, it actually look for the same method in its parent classes, which is object. So this is how it works. So method resolution order is how we search for the inherited methods. So this is basically ancestor tree or the search order. So as I said, it's a sequence of classes and its base class and its base class until it reaches object. And this process of solving this constraint is called linearization. There are 2 points which are important in this constraint, which is children precede their parent. So here, the square comes first before the rectangle. So children class always precede their parent. And if you if you have used super in multiple inheritance, we need to understand that the order of appearance in bases, like how we call the base classes in the inheritance, is respected. Like if you let's say square is inherited from rectangle and triangle class. Let's take an example. It's not actually very uh, real word example, but let's say square is inherited from rectangle and triangle. So if you call square super dot area, area is one of the method. So then how super actually works here, like how it search for the area. So basically it will search for the first class which is inherited. Let's say it is a rectangle. If the area is not there in the rectangle, it will go for the another class which is triangle, and this is how it works. So order of appearance, order of the how we write base classes is important here. So uh, to work the reorderation of the classes properly, a class need to be designed cooperatively. So uh, like I said, it's very important to know how we write, how we inherited the classes, and how the sequence of the inheritance. Mm, okay, next point is like the advice about usage of super. The first is method being called by super need to be exist. Let's say if you're calling any method and if it's not exist, it will throw an error. Or if it's not exist in the entire tree or ancestor tree of the class or the in MRO, it will throw an error. So it's always better to write root class which has the method which you want to derive later or inherit later. So if you are saying that all the exceptions that are inherited from the base exception class, so this is how the exception works. Like base exception had all the things which are required for the exception, and all the exception that we create are derived from the base exceptions. Yep. The second thing is matching the argument pattern. So the caller and callee of the super classes, super function need to have the matching argument signature. So you can use the position arguments here, or you can use the keyword arguments or the keyword argument dictionary, so that it will always have the matching patterns. And the last advice, which is the occurrence of method need to use super. So it's a chain of classes. So it should not be broken thing. So the chain of delegation continues unbroken. So that's a bit of advice you can use when you design a software in Python. So that's all I have. Here are the few references. You can use the official documentation of super. There is two more blogs post regarding the super. Uh, and real Python has very good introduction about the super function. That's all I have today. Yep, thank you.
Let's see if anyone has any questions. Please post those. We'll wait for a few seconds and then we'll move to the next point.
Let's rewind.
Lives.
Okay, it's working now. Okay, we had a slight connectivity issue. Anyways, cool. I guess Akshay, there are no questions. So maybe we can move to the end.
Yep, great. Thanks, Bhavin.
Awesome. That was a very nice talk. Okay. Hope my screen is visible to everyone. Cool. Thank you so much for attending the meetup. I'll be posting the newsletter and all the links in a few minutes. Okay. So I will be posting the links, and what else? So we'll be discussing or chatting around in the meetup. What I can say, Jitsi room. This is the link to it. You can see it on my screen. It is also in the description. And yeah, do follow us on Twitter for any updates. If you want to submit a talk, you want to get event summaries and newsletters and all, you can move to this GitHub repo, pythonpune/meetup talks, or you can visit our website as well, which is pythonpune.in. If you are new, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notifications whenever the new upcoming event has been scheduled. And yeah, join us on IRC, which is Python Pune. If you don't know what is IRC, it is a distributed chat system, which what I can say, which is privacy friendly. And yeah, if you don't want, or you don't want to join IRC, or don't prefer to, you can also join the Telegram group, which which you can visit by tel.pythonpune.in. These both platforms are integrated, so if you don't like Telegram, you can always join IRC. And yeah, see you in the chat room. I will be joining there as well shortly. Thank you everyone for joining.